welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new here. My name is Hiba, and here on my channel I cover recent missing person cases. If you're into that type of content, please subscribe. I would really appreciate it. Today's video is going to be a little bit different than my usual videos. Today I want to take some time to discuss the disproportionate amount of media coverage that some cases receive versus others. Before I get into it, I want to clarify that this isn't meant to serve a political or social statement. My intention is to simply discuss what I and many others have observed over the course of time. Over the past few weeks, I'm sure you've all heard about Gabby Petito. If you haven't, just Google her name and you'll see hundreds, if not thousands, of articles and of sources covering her story. Of course, I'm glad to see the wide-reaching coverage. It's a devastating case, and my heart really breaks for the Petito family. It goes without saying that I hope answers are found as soon as possible. However, in the midst of all this, I've also seen some discussion about how some cases receive more media coverage than others. I think this is an important discussion to have. Media coverage and attention can be a direct factor in finding a missing person. Like I said, Gabby's case is everywhere. It's mainstream national news, and updates seem to be coming in by the hour. But how about all the other missing persons? Don't they deserve coverage too? And don't they deserve to be found just as much? This disparity in media coverage isn't only seen through Gabby's case. That just happens to be the current case being spotlighted. In fact, the disproportionate amount of media coverage that some cases receive versus others is so prevalent that sociologists actually have a name for it: missing white woman syndrome. Studies have shown that cases involving white, young, upper-middle-class women tend to receive more coverage than those of women of color, those of women from lower socioeconomic backgrounds, and men overall. I've seen many comments referring to race as the factor that determines whether a case receives attention or not. However, like I said, there are many other factors that contribute to this, including a person's socioeconomic status, their physical appearance, their background, and so on. To demonstrate, let's take a glimpse into the media coverage of Gabby Petito's case versus other missing white women like Candy Green Gonzalez and Cassie Sheets. When looking at the search results for Gabby Petito on YouTube, you can see that there's a top news section, followed by videos that have hundreds of thousands of views. Now let's look up Cassie Sheets, who's been missing for over 6 months now since March. The most viewed video here on the search results is at 24,000 views, followed by a few of my own videos on Cassie. Like I said, Cassie is white and she's only 2 years older than Gabby. Their backgrounds and life choices are different, but does that make one of them more worthy or less worthy to be found? We can see a similar disparity in coverage when we look at Candy Green Gonzalez. She's been missing for over 100 days now from Prestonsburg, Kentucky. As you can see, there's barely any coverage of her case, and viewership is low. Similarly to Gabby, both Candy and Cassie disappeared under very suspicious circumstances. My point here is that there are many factors that affect how much coverage a missing persons case receives, but none of these factors should matter. A person's age, race, socioeconomic status, physical appearance, and background shouldn't make them any less or more worthy of being found. If you want to delve deeper into the issue, there's also a difference in the dialogue surrounding specific cases. For example, many people of color who go missing are more likely to be described as runaways. The same can be seen in cases of younger adults and of people who have mental illness. This again provides a whole nother set of problems, but that's another issue for another video. I really want to be clear here that I'm not saying that Gabby's case doesn't deserve the attention it's received. The issue here is the lack of attention given to so many other cases. Ultimately, I guess the reason why I'm making this video is because I've had the opportunity to speak to many families and friends of the missing person cases that I cover. And honestly, I'm just so frustrated for them. If you've seen my videos before, you'll know that many of the cases I cover are very recent and therefore have limited information out about them. They're also usually smaller, lesser known cases, and this is intentional. But in an effort to present the most accurate information, not only do I spend a lot of time doing research, but I also usually end up speaking to families. As the time goes on without their loved ones being found, I keep in touch with families to see if there's any way I can help and to see if there's any updates. I can't imagine how they feel when they see a case like Gabby's become so highly publicized, whereas their missing loved one received little to no attention. I myself get upset when I think about it. It's really almost infuriating. For example, the two cases I mentioned earlier, Cassie Sheets and Candy Green Gonzalez, if their cases had received half as much attention as Gabby's, their cases would have probably been so much closer to being solved by now. I really hope that I'm not coming off as bitter here, and in no way am I trying to shade these mainstream cases that do receive more coverage. Like I said, I'm happy to see Gabby's case receive the coverage that it has. I just wish that there was the same energy for other missing persons cases. Since the disparity in media coverage is a systemic issue, unfortunately, I don't think there's a simple solution. I do think that advocacy is a key part of it, though. I continue to do what I can on my end. It's always my sincere hope that the videos I put out there help in some way, and they usually do, thanks to you all. My subscribers are amazing and really do help to raise awareness and generate important discussion. Families oftentimes will reach out to me and tell me how much they appreciate the support and kind words, so thank you so much for offering them that. Also, thank you if you've made it this far. This is different than my usual. However, like I said, I'm just frustrated for families. I'm really interested to hear what your thoughts are about this media coverage issue. Do you think it's an issue in the first place? And if so, how do we go about fixing it? Let me know what you think in the comments below. I will also link some sources that talk more about the coverage issue if you're interested in that. Thank you again for watching this video, and I hope to see you in my next one.